Hello, and welcome to the Sonic 2 spoiler section, and Shadow's in this. Yeah, if you bet you regret clicking this video now if you hadn't seen the movie yet, huh? Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog is in the credits sequence. One of the GUN agents walks up to the director, and she's all like, when we were scrubbing Robotnik's information out of our databases, I found a record for 50 years ago. And some guys in the audience hooted as soon as they heard that. And then it's like, Project Shadow, and then they cut to like a cryogenic suspension chamber coming up out of the ground, opening up, and inside is a black. Shackled up is a black hedgehog with red highlights, and he looks into the camera, and that's where they end it. So yeah, Shadow is in this, and it's implying that he's going to be the antagonist of the next movie. Oh, and if you notice I'm wearing a different shirt, it's, I was wearing a hoodie. It was kind of hot to be wearing that hoodie in here, so I switched to a more breathable t-shirt. Because when I get hot and flustered, it's difficult for me to concentrate while I'm recording. Okay, so now we can actually discuss the spoilers of this movie, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. Now, the origins of the Master Emerald are different from the video game, but they're very similar to the comic book. In the Archie comic book, the Master Emerald isn't something that existed since time immemorial, at least not at first. In the comic book, Angel Island was held aloft by regular Chaos Emeralds, and a plot involving Mammoth Mogul absorbing a bunch of Chaos energy and trying to take over the emeralds and the island himself led to a huge thing causing a giant emerald to form from all that. So basically, a whole bunch of Chaos Emeralds combine together and become the Master Emerald. And that's kind of what happens in the movie universe. Like, the Echidna tribe, Knuckles' people, took the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and they combined their power into the Master Emerald. And the Master Emerald is a source of ultimate power that can turn your thoughts into reality. That's actually how the Death Egg robot gets built. Once Dr. Robotnik has the power within him, he dismantles a whole bunch of military hardware and machines all over the city and builds it up into the Death Egg robot. He moves it with his own willpower, and he has Agent Stone sitting in a control room activating the weapons and stuff. And he read the manual, and the manual is a Sega Genesis video game instruction manual, which I love. That is a perfect use of a reference. Yes, that is how you make a reference a joke. I think Enerjack was in this. Like, seriously, straight up, the Ken Penders creation of Enerjack. They show, in a flashback sequence, which is actually animated, and, that stylized, whenever 3D cartoons do a flashback, like Kung Fu Panda style, you have these really cool stylized 2D drawings with limited animation. I kind of love these sequences. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite tropes in 3D movies. They show the Echidna tribe creating the Master Emerald, and then one of their champions absorbing its power and gaining some kind of superpowered form, which, from my perspective, looks a lot like what Enerjack looked like, especially since they all wear those crests. It looks like the mask that Enerjack wears. And they show, he was a single entity as powerful as an entire army. But Longclaw's people, the Owls, they felt that nobody should have this much power. So they were able to catch him off guard, get the emerald out of him, and then they took it and they hid it. And because of this, the Owls and the Echidnas have always been enemy tribes. So that explains why the Echidnas attacked Longclaw in the first movie. They're rivals. Longclaw's people sought to hide the emerald, and Knuckles' people sought to claim the emerald so that they can have their glory. And this actually kind of ties into video game lore too, because if you remember Sonic Adventure, you had Pachacamac's tribe. They were basically pretty warlike, and they wanted to try and expand their empire, like conquer the world using the power of the Chaos and Master Emeralds. And I mean, there's no chaos here, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of on point. Like, it's like they combined Pachacomic from the adventure storyline and the Enerjack and the Dark Legion from the comic book, and they kind of like jammed it together into one thing. That's kind of cool. Oh, you know, speaking of comic books, I guess I should bring this up. This is the special prequel. It's supposed to serve as it came out last week. It serves as a bridge between the two movies. It's not essential reading, don't worry about that if you missed it. But I would recommend checking out the Game Apologist's latest Sonic Speed reading episode on it. I guess I can link to that video in the description. He goes into it in all the detail that's necessary. Suffice to say, there's 5 little vignettes, 5 small stories. The first one is a relative throwaway. It's Sonic foiling a bank robbery, you know, like him trying to be a superhero, because that's what he's trying to do in this movie. The second one is an Agent Stone story, which explains how he took over the coffee shop, you know, the Mean Bean coffee shop. The third one is Knuckles' story, which has a hilarious cameo of the Chaotix in Casino Night, which shows that he's been searching for the searching for Sonic for all this time, and it got another extra life. It shows how Knuckles meets up. Like at the beginning of this movie, there's some guys that are wearing like crested helmets that have bird heads on them. They're pretty human looking, but I'm wondering if they're supposed to be a reference to the Babylon Rogues or possibly the Battlebird Armada. You know, the led by Lord Cuckoo from Tails Adventure, who also got who people may actually be more familiar with from his appearance in the Sonic Universe comic book rather than the actual video game Tails Adventure, because I don't think a lot of people know about Tails Adventure. Oh yeah, Tails had a solo game on the Game Gear called Tails Adventure. It's actually kind of funny, like every time a character gets a spin-off game, it's always on a doomed console. Like Tails got a spin-off game on the Game Gear system. Knuckles had a spin-off game on the 32X. I'm guessing Shadow is the only one with a spin-off game on a console that wasn't doomed, because Shadow actually had like I played it on GameCube, but I'm pretty sure it was a multi-platform release. So Shadow is the only one that had a spin-off game of his own that, you know, wasn't on a doomed console. But I digress. So those guys meet up with Knuckles. They at first capture him and put him to fight like a giant mutant lobster. Knuckles wins, and then he hires them, and they're at the beginning of this movie. And then the fourth story goes to Tails, showing him going from world to world trying to find Sonic. And the fifth story is Robotnik himself, showing him surviving on the Mushroom Planet. So yeah, it's not essential reading, but it's very enjoyable. And if you've read this comic book, then at the beginning of this movie, you'll see Robotnik on the Mushroom Planet he makes a really cute Rube Goldberg device trying to make mushroom coffee, which is adorable. But like when you see the guys with their crested helmets on, you're like, oh hey, I know who those guys are because I read this comic first. When Knuckles starts feeding us his backstory, he says that just like I predicted, he was a young child at the beginning. He was a young child when his clan was going out to confront Longclaw, and his father told him that it wasn't his time yet, and he'd make his mark later. But he never returned. What does this mean? Does this mean that with an arrow in her side, did Longclaw manage to single-handedly kill the entire Echidna clan by herself? I'm guessing maybe Longclaw had chaos powers. Like maybe in her final moments of life, she summoned up a whole bunch of chaos spears that killed everybody. Is that what she did? Like Longclaw fell, but she took the echidnas that attacked her with her. Is that, like, that's my speculation on what happened, because they don't explain it. You know, since Shadow's gonna be a thing in the next movie, like, well, by the way, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're using Shadow. I was hoping for Metal Sonic. Hopefully they'll still give us Metal Sonic. Like maybe Robotnik will decide like a robot construction that can match Sonic in speed and agility would be better than his drones that have been going on. Again, that's another digression. But like maybe when we see Shadow, like one of Shadow's iconic abilities is his Chaos Spear. So maybe we're going to see him start throwing Chaos Spears around, and then Knuckles will be like, oh, that technique! Like he'll recognize it as something that the owls used. Like, I'm just speculating. Because like they're keeping the origin from 50 years ago, but I'm wondering how much of the Sonic Adventure 2 story is going to fit into this, because like the Guardian Unit of Nations in Movieverse didn't exist 50 years ago. They completely stated that they created the Guardian Unit of Nations as a response to them knowing that Sonic was a thing. So like the Guardian Unit of Nations did not exist 50 years ago. So yeah, that's just me. It's my speculations. Okay. So moving on. This movie has Supersonic as well. Yeah, and this is where like the Sonic X scene comes in. Like Robotnik creates the Death Egg robot, and he's at first powering it with his own willpower and stuff. But when Knuckles manages to hit the Master Emerald out of him, at first the Death Egg robot drops to the ground. But Robotnik, because he thought ahead, activates a backup power systems. Like, when he was constructing this robot with his own mind, he obviously, because he has a 300 IQ, thought, like, just in case I lose the Master Emerald, I better make sure this thing is capable of generating its own power. So he's actually able to make the thing get back up and still move, even though he's no longer powered by the unlimited power of chaos. And poor Sonic, who's been messed up, is almost stomped to death by this thing, but he had the Master Emerald, but it crumbled, and the 7 Chaos Emeralds were inside of it. And when they all crash onto the ground, they spin around, form the ring of flying emeralds, go into him, and boom! Like, there were people sitting across from me who were, they must have been in their 20s. Like, I'm guessing they were almost as old as me. I'm guessing mid to late 20s dudes, because like I was able to restrain myself thanks to the maturity of my age. But yeah, like if I was 10 years younger, I probably would have been bouncing up and down like a kid on like a kid on sugar. So we get Supersonic in, and it's Supersonic. It's awesome. He's glowing gold. He has fantastic, amazing powers, and like, okay, anyone who remembers the Sonic X anime, like the season finale of the first season, like the 12th or 13th episode, I forget, where Sonic transforms into Supersonic for the first time. Robotnik has this giant robot that was pounding Sonic apart, but then once he goes Supersonic, like, the thing tries to hit Sonic with his giant fist, and he stops it with one hand before, like, just flexing and completely destroying the fist. That exact thing happens in this movie. Like, Pacific Rim style rockets appear on the sides of the fist to help propel it at a high speed, and when he goes for the punch, whoop, Sonic just stops it one-handed, and then he flexes his power and blows up the hand. And then Robotnik tries to come in with the other one, that hand is blown up, and then Sonic just starts, like, flying through the robot over and over, making a whole bunch of holes in it. It's almost exactly like the Sonic X fight. It's amazing. A lot of people in the theater were unable to contain themselves at this moment. Even though there were children there, most of the cheers were coming from people who were closer to my age. It's awesome. I can't even, like, this is just, like that moment, that's, oh wow. But, you know, like, Supersonic isn't some OP thing, like, Knuckles is afraid that, like, with all that power coursing through him, like, Sonic's personality might be irreparably changed. But once the high breaks down, Sonic summons forth a gigantic maelstrom from which he creates a Chaos Emerald powered chili dog. Yes, he makes the perfect chili dog, and when he sees how delicious it is, he creates another one which falls out of the sky and hits Knuckles in the face. Never mind, he is exactly the Sonic that you know. Oh man, the movie ends with Knuckles, Tails, Tom, and Maddie playing a quick round of baseball. It's all fun. Knuckles is a friend. They go out for ice cream together, and you know, like, they remind us, like, Knuckles, he's 16. He's barely older than Sonic. Like, canonically speaking, he is barely older than Sonic. And I do like that when they reference dessert, Knuckles asks if it has grapes in it. This is significant because Knuckles' favorite food is grapes. This is a little known fact about the character that you would really only know if... Actually, how would you know this? I think his favorite food being grapes is something that's, like, it's brought up in the character bio of the original instruction manual in the game. Like Knuckles never actually eats grapes in any of the video games or cartoons that I'm aware of, but they do mention his favorite food is grapes. And, like, I'm shocked that they actually brought that up. I'm like, oh, hey, they did the thing. It's his favorite food. Like, it's kind of like how Amy Rose is into tarot cards. Everybody, like, this is a thing that people keep on saying, but Amy Rose never actually uses tarot cards in any of the video games, so you, like, wonder, like, where did this thing come from? So, like, I'm wondering if they're gonna find a way to integrate Amy Rose into this, because I was really hoping that Sonic 3 would be about, you know, the creation of Metal Sonic and possibly meeting Amy Rose. But, you know, like, apparently it's gonna have Shadow, so, Amy, like, Shadow the Hedgehog is one of the most popular characters in the franchise, so, not gonna lie, it makes perfect sense why they're including him. But the original classic cast of Sonic the Hedgehog has 6 characters: Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, Amy Rose as the heroic part, and Dr. Robotnik and Metal Sonic as the bad guys. Like, they're the originals. In fact, in video game, if you go by chronology, Amy Rose and Metal Sonic were both introduced before Knuckles was introduced. Like, the game's release order goes Sonic, Sonic 2, then Sonic CD, then Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. So, Sonic CD came out almost a year before Sonic 3 did. So, yes, Amy Rose and Metal Sonic have been part of the Sonic the Hedgehog canon for longer than Knuckles. But yeah, like, who knows? Like, I didn't expect them to introduce Shadow into this movie, so maybe they'll surprise us by introducing Amy Rose. Like, I don't know, maybe Sonic will go back to the world that he came from, and they'll meet Amy there. Maybe she'll be like, Tails says that he didn't have any friends, because people... Tails said that he doesn't have any friends back in his own world because people considered his second tail to be freakish. There's a scene where they're in a Serbian bar, and they call them freaks, and Tails gets this look on his face, this PTSD look. Like, you know he's dealt with trauma like this. So yeah, like, Tails, I feel for you, bro. But yeah, like, lots of amazing stuff happened in this movie, and I know Sonic 3 has already been greenlit. I heard that Jim Carrey was planning on using this as the role that he was going to retire to, but, like, he seemed like he was having such a blast here. Like Jim Carrey, he is absolutely devouring the scenery. Like Jim Carrey actually does project the ego of someone with Robotnik's personality. Like, he's no quiet schemer. He is a very loud, bombastic, high personality type. And, like, it suits him so amazingly well. And, like, now that Sonic 3 is a thing, like, Jim Carrey, like, please, let us know that you're coming back for this. Like, please let us not have the ghost of your grandfather be the villain of the next movie. Like, you're gonna be there. Like, you, like, are going to be there, Robotnik. I mean, they show Agent Stone survives at the end of this movie, so if Agent Stone managed to get out of this, then Dr. Robotnik managed to get out of it too. So yeah, I guess that's everything I would have to say about this movie, and I've been talking for 20 minutes. So yeah, what do you guys think? Spoiler discussions are okay in the comments of this video, because this is the spoiler video. And oh yeah, like, remember the McDonald's promotion? I got a Happy Meal yesterday, so I do have the first Sonic toy. I'm gonna collect them all. But cool thing they did at McDonald's, the one toy is kept secret. I'm guessing that last toy is either Supersonic or Shadow. It's one of those two, and they didn't reveal it. It's probably going to be the last toy that they give out in the giveaway, because they don't want their toy promotion to spoil it for kids that haven't had a chance to see the movie yet. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned, because this isn't the last thing I'm going to be uploading, because I just got a special care package today, so yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of a follow-up here. Alright, so Wake Angel 2001, signing off.